Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host Jefficho, and today we're going to discuss episode 4 of the Orville, If the Stars Should Appear. This episode's directed by James L. Conway, who's done The Magician, Supernatural, Smallville. He's worked on DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, TNG, an extensive list, but no Stargate. It's also written by Seth MacFarlane. The guest stars include Robert Knepper from Heroes and Stargate Universe, James Morrison from Space Above and Beyond, Max Burkholder who works on Family Guy and reminds me of Jono from Season 4 of TNG, Suddenly Human.
I did not say that. Don't you understand? Pain is not what matters. Passing the test is everything.
Is that what they are? Tests of pain?
You understand nothing.
I love that Seth's wife, Rachel MacFarlane, voiced the computer. I mean, it was perfectly poetic, following the footsteps of Majel Roddenberry. And that guest star, the biggest guest star of this episode, was kept out of the IMDb. It was kept out of the opening credits. It was a great surprise at the end. The episode starts out with Bortus and Clayton having relationship troubles. Now, I don't care if Clayton's feeling ignored. I'm still kind of pissed at him for the last episode. And does 16 going on 17 actually make us happy? The song got stuck in my head, and I really did enjoy the way it faded into space.
I am 16 going on 17, innocent as a rose.
Next, we're mapping stars and coming across an epically large spaceship. They said turtle, but it reminds me more of an armadillo. We get the standard opening, and now that we've seen Star Trek Discovery, I think a lot of comparisons are going to be made, but you can't compare Star Trek Discovery with the Orville, because one is Star Trek and one isn't. I'm just not sure which one it is. Our away team investigates, and our captain and first officer go, and you start to wonder, shouldn't there be some rule against that? Shouldn't somebody stay in command there and not always just drop it on Bortus' lap?
In your file that Captain DeSoto thinks very highly of you. One curious thing, however, you refused to let him beam down to Altair 3.
In my opinion, Sir, Altair 3 was too dangerous to risk exposing the captain.
If I may, just a word of advice about your first command.
Anything.
When your first officer insists that you can't go on away missions,
Ignore him. I intend to.
And they find out the ship's a colony, and Alara, she has to open another giant jar of pickles. Damn it, Alara, where are you when I need you? We learn more about our characters. I mean, the Doctor, she's afraid of heights. Isaac, his race, the Kalons, they're assembled. And then we see that beautiful landscape. I wonder where it's filmed. I'm guessing California, but I have no idea. We get a solid first contact. I really enjoyed Seth saying, like, we didn't kill him, right? Right? We didn't kill him? Good. Yeah, wait, no, we didn't kill him. Like, that was great. Then Alara and Kelly are walking through a field talking about relationships. Alara can't find a guy who's not bothered by her strengths. Hey, Alara. Got no problem with that. Anybody else sense Alara seemed a little interested in the captain? And then, oh my god, she's shot, but you know what? She's strong, and I'm pretty confident she'll be okay. But they were a little touchy with those guns there. Like, get into the van. Oh, you didn't instantly get into the van, so we're gonna shoot you. I enjoyed the social structures of having the reformers and the believers. I thought that added for some nice conflict. I like how the whole thing kind of evolved, you know, this colony formed and it created its own religion just based on what they knew. And then back on the ship, who the fuck is this guy? A communications officer? Alright, he's cool. I really enjoyed the communications buoy. That was a nice idea. When they're in the barn talking to the reformers, I really enjoyed the do you have a napkin line, and then followed by the do you have a garbage was great. I mean, I'm just gonna throw this shit out, it was terrible. We actually see a decent amount of blood on Alara, which I liked because it brought a lot more realism to it. It wasn't like your usual sci-fi little trickle down the face of blood and something like that. Then we get to see Robert Knepper show up, and he's just a fantastic actor. He always tends to play a bad guy, but I enjoy his performances.
Please don't mistake a childish fantasy for disappointment. You are so beautiful. I feel honored.
He's pushing forth the word of Dural, and you got the mob mentality thing. It was great. Then we go back to the Orville that's protecting a ship and fighting a smaller Krell vessel, which they're much more evenly matched now. And those missiles, man, did that ever look cool. And that communications officer, you know, I know he's a secondary character, but he's delivering lines that are keeping me in the show. And then Lamar, you know, his over-the-top reaction kind of takes you out of it a bit. And that torture scene with Kelly was great. I mean, the mouth on that girl. Solid Friends reference, and then a description of the Eiffel Tower.
You're more resilient than you look.
Been through a divorce. This is nothing.
There's a lot I enjoyed about this episode. I mean, I thought Seth tricking the guard was great. The Doctor was a little too trusting with that syringe, though. And Hamlet, that's a nice name. Just kidding, it's not. but I really liked the outfits, and I enjoyed that Kelly was wearing her battle scars. They didn't just like heal her up right away. We enter another section of the ship, and I'm really starting to enjoy the cast chemistry that's building. I mean, Kelly's reactions to Ed's awkwardness in the elevator, just the looks on her face, and you can see Laura smiling in the background. Like, it's just getting better and better.
Cool.
And when we finally get to the bridge, it's like, oh my god, the recording of Jabral, Liam freaking Neeson. Like, that's gonna be the casting to beat. He did such a great job, and his recording, it just conveyed great sci-fi. It was an excellent story to tell. I gotta say though, I'm surprised that nobody freaked out when their world went night for the first time and they could see the stars. I mean, you would think somebody would have. For me, this was another fun episode that gave me a lot of Star Trek feels, and I'm just looking forward to more. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh, I might not need Alara, but she can still come over.